Good morning to you. Here we are. We're on a journey together, and it's so exciting to see all of you and know that you all did your homework this week, didn't you? Yes! Oh, the journey begins when we make our commitment, our little commitment to do that which is ours to do, to connect with our God self, that God presence within you. You make that commitment, and things start to happen in your life. And since you all have made that commitment this week to do your spiritual alignment, you all are ready to take another step. You're all, and by the way, maybe this is the first Sunday you came, or maybe you weren't here last Sunday, but you do have this in your bulletin, and I would love to know that you are taking it home and working with it 3 times a day for a week and see what happens to you. Nothing is ever lost in God. Your consciousness is conscious, always moving. Whether you want it to or not, or whether you are connecting to it or just letting things happen in your life. When I began my journey, 45 years ago, I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea. I just knew in my heart of hearts that I wanted to change my life. I knew that there was more, and I wanted to tap that inner self of mine. So as I told you last week, I started doing the spiritual alignment. I wanted to align my conscious, my subconscious, and future conscious 9. And by doing that daily, I began to feel a shift in my consciousness. Now is time for all of us to feel a shift in our consciousness, because now is the hour. The commitment has been made. Your love for your soul is coming full circle. You came into this lifetime with a personality, and this personality has served you well. And you've journeyed with it, but you know that there's more. Your soul is trying to infuse your personality. And when I first started meditating that my soul wanted to infuse my personality, I thought, how is that possible? What's going to happen here? And how do I get there? How is it possible for me to move in consciousness? If God is all there is and I am one with God, how do I find it? How does it become who I am? The journey begins when you ask those questions. I want to be one with the infinite power of God, the infinite wisdom of God. And so one of the things that helped me so much was that I began to see God as the computer, in that I was going to connect with the internet. That if I connected with the internet, I could Google God anytime I wanted to. And let me tell you, you can. The truth is, you can. You can Google God and say, I have a problem. How do I solve it? Still your mind. Know that you are connected with that internet that can give you any piece of information at any time you want it, according to your desire to receive it. But just like your computer, you have to go sit down and start working it, or you're not going to find out where the movies are and what's playing. You've got to do it. You've got to sit down. And this is what you have to do. You have to make the commitment to your higher self, to connect with your divine presence within you, because it's there. And the more you acknowledge it, the more you work with it, the more it becomes a part of your consciousness, so that you never have to think about Googling God, because you are one with it, and you can connect to that inner self of yours anytime your heart's desire. This week, I've had a lot of emails, and these emails have been asking me questions like, okay, Jane, I'm doing the prescription for spiritual alignment, but I want to know, I'm having problems in my relationship. What do I do? Another one said, Jane, I'm trying to find a new house, and I haven't been able to. And I thought, okay, they need to take their old self up the 7 steps and release it. I'm having problems with my son. He doesn't want to go to first grade. What do I do? How do I help him? What is it that I need to do to support? I've had a lot of just really questions that you all have in some way. And so I decided this morning that I was going to talk about my Spiritual Power Tool book, because you can find whatever you need to find out by simply going to the source of your inner self. And I didn't have any tools when I began, so I started creating my own tools. I started figuring out what I could do to connect more deeply with my inner self, because no book told me exactly how to do this. They just kind of talked about it in these wonderful ways that, oh, it's so wonderful to be one with God. Oh, wow, this is what you should do. But how do I do it? I want to know how to do it. And so I say to you, the number one thing you do is meditate. You connect with that magnificent instrument that is right present within you. You begin also to develop your intuition, because the intuitive part of you connects with the great computer internet of God, which is all abstract thinking. You become very good at being able to connect with the abstract mind of God. What a wonderful thing it is to have the answers. And I would like to tell you that sometimes I got the answers, but I didn't like the answers. And that was a big problem for me. But I found out that if I would journal and find out why it is that I don't like my answer, I began being able to move out of the fear I was having, and, oh, that can't be possible. That can't be, that God doesn't want me to do that, does he? No, Jane doesn't want to do it. Your intimate self wants you to go on. The soul of you wants you to have this experience. I remember when I got divorced. That was over 30 years ago. And I wanted so badly, I had 4 children, and I wanted so badly to have somebody fall in love with me and take me into his arms and take care of my children and me. And I would never have another worry, the perfect relationship. And I was meditating on this, and I was saying, where are you? God, send him to me. I know you love me. Send him quickly, because I really need him. I can't pay my gas bill. I really need him. Well, guess what happened? I listened to my inner voice, and my inner voice said, no, Jane, you have to get to know yourself before you ever can be a true friendship with anyone. And I did not like that answer. I wanted someone to take care of me, and it wasn't. You have to learn to take care of yourself. You have to learn to love yourself, respect yourself, and support your spiritual journey, and do your meditations. Do what you need to do for your children. Take responsibility for them. Don't expect somebody to come in and take care of them for you. It's your responsibility. And as I toyed with that, and I did toy with it for a while, I decided I better get with the program, because God wasn't going to send me somebody to save me, rescue me. I had to connect. And you know what was the greatest thing that ever happened to me? Because I had to learn to depend on my inner self, that part of me that could connect with God. And so I began my journey, and I worked on it, and I supported myself, and I felt one with myself for the first time. I got my personality out of the way, and my soul came forth. My soul, began to infuse my personality. And I might have a personality, and you see this personality standing up and talking to you. But you use your personality rather than your personality uses you. It's a totally different thing. And the only way you can move out of the personality self and let go of that ego self that needs and wants and begs, oh, take care of me, think of me, me, I need this, I need that, to the one that says, oh, I am one with all of life. I am one with each one of you, and you are me and I am you. And you know it, not from just the words, but you know it from your heart of hearts. The very essence of you understands that you are no longer in the human evolutionary. You are a soul that has infused itself with the God within itself and the oversoul of all the universe. Oh, those are awful lofty words, aren't they? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. It starts from a commitment. It starts from a desire to know yourself. It starts with being honest with yourself and where you are in your present moment. It starts also with the heart's desire. I remember that when I was meditating, it was, what is your heart's desire, Jane? And I thought, my heart's desire is to know God in me. And that seems so far away from where I was or what it could possibly be. I have my daughter here today, and she said, Mom, please don't introduce me. But too bad, honey. I say that because she started this journey with me. She was 5 and a half, almost 6 years old. And she's journeyed with me through this whole 45 years. And when I was crying so hard when I was going through my divorce and feeling so very sorry for myself, you know, pity poor me. I have 4 kids and I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, she came in my room at 2 in the morning and she tugged on the blanket. She said, Mommy, what's the matter? And I said, well, I'm just sad. She said, you don't have anything to be sad about. I'm here. I'm with you. No matter what, it's going to be okay, Mommy. And I realized to dry my eyes. I had a friend. I had a companion. I had a soul. We found out we were very connected soul-wise. And she had really come into my life in support of my spiritual journey. Because we had to move many, many times. And she had to pack her bags and move with her mama. After my other children grew up and they were much older than she was, she always moved with me. But the reason I'm telling you the story is that somebody in your life is there to support your journey. Every one of us on our journey has somebody that we can connect to that will be there as you move through the different phases of your journey. And I want to say sometimes those friends are with you for a period of time, then they leave and they come back in a new way. Just when Cindy went to college, I had to take her up the 7 steps and let her go. And I did my crying, I did my journaling, but what I found out was she was no longer my little girl that I had to take care of. She was becoming an adult. And I could see her in a new way and have a new relationship. I didn't lose her. I just changed my relationship with her. And this has happened several times through our years that we've been together. There has been changes in our relationship as we have moved in our own spiritual consciousness. I guess the most important thing I want to leave you with today is this journey that you're on is worth everything to your soul. It's worth it. It's worth everything that you've ever wanted in your life. When you have that spiritual alignment where you are totally, completely aligned with your God self, you don't make mistakes because you are aligned. You have that oneness that can give you the answers. And other people might look at you and say, oh, her poor life is such a mess. And you know within yourself that you are connected with that inner self. And if you're supposed to move, like everybody said, why are you leaving Michigan? You've got everything going there. You have students. You have a church. You have everything going. And I said, I want to go. I want to go where I can find the people that are ready to move quickly in consciousness. And I decided to come to Alice's church because she had been a student, and Shannon, way back when they were in ministerial school. And I thought this would be a nice place for me. And I came, and I found out that there was a lot of people that are ready to move in consciousness. I want to be a part of that. So I'm here. And I'm so glad I made this decision. Left my house, and here I am. So, you do really interesting things on the journey that maybe the other people in your life don't quite understand because they think, oh, well, what is she just flipping off this and going here? But you have that inner knowingness, the inner knowingness that helps you to take the steps necessary because you know you're on firm foundation. I know that there's going to be a class this afternoon. Gina is going to be teaching it on thoughts and how to work with your thoughts and get rid of those thoughts that you don't want. I suggest you go to her class because this is what happens. Once we start in the spiritual journey, new thoughts, new ideas about ourselves come, or old thought forms come, and they keep us stuck. So moving out of those stuck areas in your life are going to make it easier for you to move forward in your consciousness. I put together this little book, Spiritual Power Tools, with all the tools necessary to take the steps to know God. I talk about the difference between the third and fourth dimension, the God consciousness and the human consciousness. Meditations, why it's important. What happens to you when you meditate? What happens when you start to connect with that higher energy? What happens to your body? What happens? There's a detoxification that takes place. Important to know because those things stumped me. I didn't know what to do with the things. And I finally understood that this is the process that one goes through. And I was scared because I didn't know when I felt the presence of energy coming through my forehead. And it felt so strange and wonderful at the same time. I know now that that was my intuitive eye opening up in a wider, a more magnificent opening so that I could capture more of the presence of God, the great computer in the sky, the internet, whatever you want to call it. It's there. And it gave me comfort. And I want to comfort, so you don't have to worry about these things. Say, oh, what's happening? Oh, I'll just look in the book and ask. A lot of people, and I know that Alice taught about the spiritual power tools, but I want to say to you, if you have the spiritual power tools now, start using it and saying to yourself, okay, what is my problem today? I will just let myself open the book, and whatever is there will be what I need to do. Thousands and thousands of people have used this little book for that purpose, and it's helped them a great deal. At least they tell me it has. My family uses it, and this is what they do. They don't call me anymore because I say, what does the spiritual powers tell you? Oh, I got to take this up the 7 steps. Oh, that's right. Oh, I've got to use the spiritual thermometer. I've got to figure out what's wrong with my kid. There it is. It's all there. So if you haven't got it, please get it because it's going to help you. It will help you grow and change. It helped me. It changed my life. I fiddled around with these tools and used them and found the power in each one of them. That's why I put it together. And so I suggest that if you haven't already gotten it, please get it and use it, because it's going to change your life. It changed everything I did to move into this new state of consciousness happened with these tools, because I use them on a daily basis. We're on a journey of self-discovery. Self-discovery. We are here to discover more of who we are. That's the only purpose we're here. That's the only purpose. We are human beings moving into the spiritual realm of ourselves. We've been here for eons and eons of time, and we have evolved through many personalities and many egos. But we're here now. We're here now. This is your hour. Your time has come. Your time has come to move in consciousness and to allow the essence of you to finally come through and be. It takes a little work, but it's worth it. I wouldn't have changed anything in my life. And I had a lot of situations that the world would have said, poor thing. They made me who I am. They helped me move in consciousness because I never let them pull me down. I tried my best to keep them on a higher realm so that I could move in consciousness. And my desire for you is to help and support you in moving in consciousness. This is what we're here for. So if you will join me in a meditation where we're just going to align ourselves in our God self and take a deep breath, because my prayer is that each and every one in this room has a God experience this morning, experiences themselves in a greater expression of who they are, even if it's only for a moment. Only here we are. We're sitting together in this magnificent universe filled with energy and light, strength and power. And we're going to the center of our core. That part of us, the DNA of God that's in us. We're tapping our inner source. And we are embracing the vibrations of the universe. We are moving out of our personality self into our soul. The vastness of our soul that's connected with all there is. It has no limitations. It has all the love it needs. It's comfortable. And as we embrace our new self in God, new because it's new today, in this very moment. There's a new being in you. And when I say a new being, I mean a new consciousness arriving. And even with our eyes closed, we can see the light. The light that's permeating our very beingness. And we are not this body. We are the body of the universe. are expanding into oneness, into a God experience where we know that we aren't this limited body. That's not at all who we are. We are part of the absolute, the infinite intelligence of this universe. We are part of it. And it expands us and expands us. And brings forth a new energy, a new power, a new strength within us. It changes our vibration. Empowers us to do the work necessary to do, to climb that high mountain of consciousness, be there, not just for a moment, but forever and ever, ever and ever. God is all there is, and we are ising with the universe, ising with the universe. We simply relax in it. We say thank you, God, as we acknowledge our oneness. And now as we gently come back to the presence of this room and to our spiritual family, and we open our eyes and look around and see your family. What a beautiful family you have.